To insert a stacked column chart into a Power BI desktop, just look for the stacked column chart. So second chart is the one that we are looking for. Just click on it and it will create a dummy of this chart into a Power BI desktop. You can resize it, right? Now you will see some fields over here under the visualization pane: x-axis, y-axis, legends, tooltip, etc. So you can just use your fields from your query to create these charts, right? So to you can, just like previous tutorial, we will be using here country and the sales. So here you will see you have vertical columns this way. So this is the basic difference between the clustered bar chart, stacked bar chart, and the column chart. So in the bar charts, we saw there are horizontal bars, right, in clustered and the stacked bar charts. Now in the stacked column chart, you will see the vertical columns here. So these are vertical, that's why we call it as column chart, and here we have horizontal, that's why we call it as bar charts. So here we can add some more values into x-axis. Let's say in the y-axis, here in the y-axis we have put the sales. Here we can add more values, that is, we can, if I try to uh, pick up my profit and drag it into my y-axis, you will see my bars are divided into two sections. One is for profit and one is for sales, right? Now we can format this chart. To format it, go to visualizations pane. Under this visualizations pane, you need to go to format your visual pane. So again, here we will be seeing two kinds of formatting. So the first one is x-axis. So you can format the x-axis here. So here we have text formatting. Let's say we can change the font family. From here we can increase or decrease the font size. So 8 pixel is the minimum font size. You can increase it, right? 8 pixels is the minimum one. So you can make it bold or italic or underline as per your choice. You can change the color here. Let's say I'm giving it this purple color, correct? You can make it italic by clicking over it, and again underline by again clicking on it. You can create the increase or decrease the maximum height of this x-axis, right? By increasing or decreasing it. You can go to title and change the title over here. Currently it is country. You can change it, let's say countries, right? Now you can change a title here, style here. So here by default we have show title only. We need to change the font again here for this title. One of the best practice of creating charts into Power BI is to create to make the font family of each and everything into our chart the same one, right? So we should not make font families different. So we can again here change the color of it. Let's say again this purple color, and we can make it italic or underlined. So same formatting, the layout, we can just increase or decrease the minimum category width here. So once we increase it, the width of our bars will get increased, right? Now if you click on reset to default, then the formatting of this x-axis will be changed to default one that Power BI has automatically chosen. So now y-axis has some features like minimum and maximum. So if you choose, it is auto as of default. So if you increase it or change it, let's say 1, then this axis will be starting from 1, and you can change the maximum one, right, to 4. So it will be adjusting like that. You can click on reset to default to make it the default whatever it was. If you turn on the invert range here, then it will be starting from 0 from the top, right? If you turn it off, then 0 scale will be starting from bottom. The value section, you can change the again formatting of these values. So you can increase or the you can change the font family, increase the font size, right? You can change the color. Let's say again this purple color. You can change the display unit. Power BI has the default functionality to change the display unit here to automatically detected. So it has auto detected to million, right? You can change it to thousands, correct? You can switch the x-axis position, then y-axis will be shifted to right. If you turn it off, then it will be shifted to left. You can change the decimal values as well. You can just increase or decrease the decimal places, right? As of now, we are seeing that zero is added in the decimal places, so we are keeping it as zero, right? We can change the title as it is sum of sales and sum of profit. Here we can change it as sales and profit, right? Here the styling is by default as show title only. We can change it to show unit only. We can change it to show both as well. We can change the font family here, the same formatting, right? We can increase the font size from here. We can make it italic. We can change the font color here, and you can also reset the formatting to default by clicking on it. If you see this legend option, it is turned on by default. This legend is this indication of colors. We see two colors in our columns here. So this is this indication that light which color is displaying what values, right? So by default it is turned on. If you turned it off, then these values will be disappeared from your chart. So if you turn it on, then you can change the position of this. Let's say bottom right, here it will get displayed, right? Top right, it will display it over here. You can change the formatting of the text. So these text formattings are common for each and every value, right? You can change the color. You can change give the title. Here title is also turned on, but nothing is given over here. So you can give the title over here. If you give no title, then nothing, no title will be appeared. If you give the title but make it turned off, then also this title will get disappeared, right? Now grid lines, if you see there are horizontal lines, very light dotted lines are visible over here in the chart. So these are grid lines. If I show you by changing the color to some darker color and increasing the width, then you will see the darker dotted lines. So these are the grid lines over here. So these grid lines helps us to read the graph more easily, and you can change the style of this dot lines, grid lines, to solid or dashed, right, or dotted. By default it is dotted. You can change the color and you can change the transparency of it, right? You can increase or decrease the width. You can switch to scale by width, right? You can turn the zoom slider on, then this zoom slider will be turned visible. That you can increase the zoom or decrease the zoom of this chart. You can do the formatting here. You can turn off from y-axis, you can on it. You can on the slider labels as well, right? You can turn the slider tooltip as well. Slider tooltip will be when you will be using this chart, then the tooltip will be visible to you. Now columns, then other formatting will be visible to your columns here. You can change this formatting for either all the columns or only to the specific values of sales and profit. So just like for sales, you can change the color, let's say this dark blue color, right? And for profit, you can also change it, let's say this pink color, right? So to make it more change, like we can use some lighter colors to make it more attractive, right? You can increase the transparency here. So whatever field you will choose here, the formatting will be applied to that one, right? For you can turn the border on, then this border will be turned on for these bars, right? If you turn the match column color, then the color of these bars will be to the border of these columns will be similar to the color of these borders, right? You can turn it off. You can just change the color of borders, right? For like profit, it is turned on. right? You can for all, you can just increase the width of it, right? Height, inner border, this inner border, if you see, you can turn this height also, right, as per your layout or design. Inverse order, you can inverse the order as well. The profit will go downwards and the sales will go upwards. You can just do by yourself. Sort values, so your values will get sorted here. Space between categories, you can increase and decrease the space between these labels, right? The best practice here to keep the space between the bars the half as these width. So this space should be the half of the width of these columns, right? Space between axes, you can increase or decrease it. This space will be increased if you increase it. Then ribbons, if you turn it on, this kind of ribbon will be visible. You can apply all the color settings and border settings in this similar way that we have done for these bars. I am keeping it off. You can turn on the data labels here, so these data labels will be visible here. You can just for you can do the formatting here for all or either specifically, right? It should be horizontal or vertical, you can display, right? You can change the position either inside and or inside center or inside base, right? This way you can change the position of these categories or labels. You can turn the title on of these and change the formatting the similar way that we are doing the text formatting, right? I am keeping it off. The values, if you turn it off, then these values will be disappeared. If you turn it on, then these values will be visible. And you can do the same formatting the same way that we used to do, right? You can increase the size or decrease the size. You can change the display unit, let's say millions, correct? And you can choose the decimal places 1, 2, or 3, whatever you want. You, if you are turning the details on, then you can do the formatting of the details and you can add the data, let's say cogs, right? That cogs values will also will be appeared on it. You can turn it off if it is not required to you. Then background, you can turn the background on. Let's say I'm giving this color, and this background is the background of these labels, right? Now then we have the layout over here. We can make the labels single line or multi-line. As this label is already fit to single line, then it will not go to multi-line, right? But we can make it single line or multi-line as per our need. Here we have total labels. If you turn it on, then the total labels will also be will also be appeared here. Let's say the total of this 25 point something and 2 point something is 28.02 million. This total label will be appeared here. We can again format these texts, right? We can increase or decrease the size. We can change the color here, and we can display the unit of it, let's say thousands, correct? Or we can make it to million only, and we can increase or decrease the font size. We can change the background of these labels as well. As of now it is gray color. We can make it more darker, or we can increase or decrease the transparency in this way. And under the plot area background, we can make the we can add any image over here in the background of this chart, right? We can fit it to our background of it by using the image fit options. If you click on reset to default, then the default formatting will be applied for this plot area background. Now if we go to general formattings, then here we will see properties. We can here change the font size and font family, right? If I increase the height, if I increase the width, let's say 650, right? We can change the position of it. Let's say horizontally I'm making it at 0 to shift it left, totally left. And we can make it vertical 0, then uh, it will be on the very top of the canvas, right? The padding means the area between the the space between the border and this text or the area of this chart, then we can give here the padding, let's say 10 pixel, then this space will be of 10 pixel added here. We can also do this on the bottom, let's say 15, then 15 pixel space will be added on the bottom. Now, this way you can do for top, right, bottom, or left. The advanced options, we can make it responsive or maintain layer order. If these options are helpful if we are creating the report for our text mobile version, right? So as we know that there are mobiles with we say different screen sizes, and we have tablets also to make it responsive in those devices. Then we used to make this options toggled on. For the title, this title is specific to the title of the chart. This is sum of sales and sum of profit, so we can change it, right? We can rename the title here, we can change the heading type here, we can change the font family, the same font formattings we used to do, right? We can make it we can change the text color, let's say white, and the background color to this blue color, right? And we can make it center aligned. We can turn on the subtitles, so subtitle will be added here. We can do the formatting of these subtitles, let's say the text color I can change to this gray color, and also I can do more text formatting here. So as of now this subtitle is not needed, so I can turn it off to get it disappeared, the divider. If I turn it on, then there will be a separator line will be added between this header and the chart. If I make it black and increase the font size here, you will see a black line here. So this is the divider you have. You can turn it off or you can turn it on as per your requirement. Effects, this effects is the background of the chart. Let's say if I add this gray color here, so this gray color background will be added, and you can increase the transparency here, right? Or you can decrease the transparency. Visual border, if you observe that this visual has no border as of now, you can add the border here, and we have sharp edges, so we can make the border with the sharp edge with rounded edges here. So to do so, we need to turn this visual border on here, and we have to choose the color of it, let's say this color, and I can increase the width of this border. You will see like this, and we have again the sharp corners here. We can make it rounded. So again we will go to general formattings, effects, and the visual border. So here we will see uh, some rounded corners formatting. We can give either the value here, or we can increase using this scale. You will see rounded corners here, right? So to make more attractive, we can do the more formattings here, like we have a shadow. To turn it on, to use the shadow in this chart, you can turn it on, and you can change the color here, let's say this color, and you can change the offset to outside or inside, wherever you want the shadow to be, right? This you can change the position here, let's say bottom, or we can make it to center, or we can change the other positions as well, let's say bottom left, correct. Date format, so here data format, so current country will be in the text only, right? The sales, sum of sales will be in currency format. You can change the formats here, let's say the decimal places will be 1 or 2, right? This way. And the header icons, you can same formatting you can do for profit as well. Now the header icons, these icons you see are the header icons. If you turn it on, then these header icons will be visible. If you turn it off, then this will be invisible. But this condition is for when you publish your Power BI report to Power BI service, right? As Power BI desktop is the developer version, is useful to develop Power BI reports, then these icons by default are visible, always visible in Power BI desktop. So this option is specific to Power BI service, right? We can format these visuals as well. Let's say this background color, we can change the border here, right? We can change the color of these borders or the visuals. We can increase the transparency of these visuals. The icons, we can here choose the which icon we need to display and which not to. Tooltips, we have turned on the tooltip. If it is turned on, then this kind of tooltip or additional information will be visible to us. But if it is turned on off, then nothing will be displayed when we hover over the bars, right? If it is on, then we can do the text formatting for our tooltips as well. We can change the font family, font size. We can change the label color, value color. Let's say this pink color. You will observe here, right? We can make the background color changes here. Let's say this gray color, just like this. So this way we can change the customization or the formatting of the tooltip. Again, the alternate text, this alternate text is the text which will be visible in case your chart is not loaded to your Power BI service, right? So whatever the text you provide here, that will be visible to the Power BI service in case this chart is not loaded into a Power BI text.